queries from our medicine pages. Yes,
Sir,
please.
actually,
Do you have the mic? Or do you need the mic? Yeah, throw your work.
Sir, ma'am, actually you were telling me about CT will be knowing the viral load, no ma'am. So it also, does it depend on the sample collection also, ma'am?
So if you have not collected from proper site, you have not collected, that swab will not be having the nucleic acid inside. So maybe it is having less number of copies of virus. So maybe 3 or 4 millions are there, only 4 copies are there. So when we have amplified that part, they will get amplified at 36 sites. If you have properly collected, then the RNA copies are more, 20 copies are there. Then they will get amplified at 26 seconds.
Ma'am, then how can we comment about the, then we cannot comment on the viral load the patient is having, no ma'am, depending on the,
We cannot comment. For that, this is only qualitative test we are doing, whether it's positive or negative. So depending upon that the parabola what is coming, that signal what is coming, at which cycle it is coming, depending upon that only. It is only qualitative, positive or negative. But to do that one, for example, HIV viral load, HCV viral load, we have a quantitative PCR also, RT-PCR. So that facility is there with us also. That is that we exactly will give what is the number of copies initially present in the patient.
So do we need to send a separate requisition for that with a separate amount of money?
No, sir, nobody has prepared quantitative PCR for COVID. No kit is available, but quantitative. But qualitative also are available. But HCV, they are not.
So with this we move to the patient back. So the patient got tested positive and that's where the microbiology means. Okay, Dr. Aditya has a question.
So first of all, very well presented, thank you. So I have 2 questions for you. One is, you said these Chinese people have a very, exquisite diet. So is there any risk of spread from these pangolins or civet cats via eating?
Well, that's the primary route that looks like how it spread in the first place, because the first bat virus spread to the civet cats, which became the intermediate pathogen, and as it was shown over there, the diet or close contact with these civets or these intermediate pathogens was what ended up transmitting this zoonotic virus to the human beings. It jumped over. Same thing with the MERS COVID in the first place, MERS coronavirus in the first place. Initial pathogen was, the virus was initially in the bats. It transmitted over to the camels. Then because there's so much of contact with camels, with the mucus fluids or the body fluids or the diet or close contact, ended up jumping to the human beings. So scientists are trying to deduce what was the intermediate pathogen that ended up causing the jump of COVID from so-and-so intermediate host to human beings. Or is it something that happened directly from bats to human beings, because bats are also consumed in China. So people are still a bit confused whether is there a known intermediate pathogen, or is there transmission only from bats to humans, or is there a mechanism for both?
So what is the ecological link between a bat and a camel and a civet cat? Is it just bird droppings or?
Well, it could be many things, but the basic thing is this is aerosolized. So even bat aerosols could have jumped over to the camels, they could have come into contact, and close proximity of maybe these bats with the camels could have resulted in this virus entering the camels, and this ended up jumping over to the humans. Still, mechanisms are not really clear, and usually research into origins of these kind of things takes a lot of time. And so far, this is the thing. So we have established for COVID as such, we are still trying to find out as to what could be the intermediate host.
And my second question is, you were quite impressive on the fact that rigorous hand washing has been proven. So are there any harms of rigorous hand washing? Any harms? In fact, one PGA study has shown that several MRSA and Klebsiella have increased virulence, have shown increased rates of infection. So are we, increasing the rates of infection of these bacteria by rigorous hand washing? Any take on that?
Well, first thing is this MRSA and all these other bacteria, they are a bit more resistant than the viruses, because if we check the scale of resistance, enveloped viruses are the lowest. They're the least resistant to any form of desiccation or disinfection. Then we have bacteria, fungi, non-enveloped viruses, and then we have the mycobacteria, spores, and then the prions. So that's the thing. So when we are hand washing at the moment so rigorously, we are first of all trying to control the COVID pandemic as such. But of course, this hand washing has to be done so that we maintain regular hand hygiene. We don't want to end up transmitting any sort of microbe from ourselves or from any other surface or fomite to the individual. So in short, maybe the bacteria are developing some sort of resistance, over a period of time to this hand
What is the
washing.
recommended solution for hand wash? Is it soap solution, ethyl alcohol?
When your hands are visibly soiled and contaminated, hand washing is a must, because if we just use a regular chemical disinfectant, which is alcohol, we don't use hypochlorite or any of the other disinfectants on our mucosal surfaces or skin because they're corrosive and damaging. So when you use alcohol, what happens is there's a lot of organic matter, be it blood or serum or whatever. Basically, there's some sort of soiling on your hand or a skin surface. That organic matter prevents the proper functioning of these chemicals. It does not allow the chemical to go and act properly. So even though theoretically we know that alcohol is strong, because of the presence of this organic matter, it is not going to work properly. So when your hands are visibly soiled, first we have to wash our hands thoroughly. Then we can go with a rub, with an alcohol-based hand rub. Because alcohol is an intermediate level disinfectant, it acts against all the microbes except spores. Spores are not destroyed by alcohol, but it works against everything. When they're not visibly soiled, when you see that it's fine, there's no pugnacious material, a regular alcohol-based hand rub is fine.
Okay. And my last question is, sir said the sensitivity of artificial 75 tops, and that one for bronchoalveolar lavage is 94.
Yeah.
But what is the gold standard?
Gold standard would be viral culture, but viral culture is not regularly available everywhere, because when you have cultured the virus, you know for a fact that it's there definitely. That is the gold standard.
I think the gold standard should be autopsy or a biopsy from infected people.
But we can't do autopsies on people who have
You want
passed on.
100% sensitivity.
100 biology is noticed that has 100% sensitivity as such. I mean, the specificity may be close.
How are we numbering this sensitivities? We know 77% of something, right? 94% of something. So that something has to be known. Is there?
Viral culture is the gold standard.
Why is it okay?
Viral culture is gold standard, but every investigation will compare to the viral culture.
And any specific site of swarming after viral culture?
Viral culture, bronchoalveolar
Lavage.
lavage.
Oh, thank you.
More sensitive to viral culture. We are ready for that. Because all other biopsy or when pathology people, if they see cross section also, they cannot tell because of COVID. It can be like any other virus. So only the disease is viral.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Faraz. You enlightened us with very learning points.